In the wake of Warframe Deathstream 1.11, a vast amount of the community is irate over the upcoming changes to the melee system. Something like this is not new. If you've been in Warframe long enough, you will know that DE will always be effective in making adjustments to things that doesn't fit their vision of the game. We've seen this with Warframe abilities, with reworks, we've seen it with mods, system, and some in-game mechanics. So who wins or loses in these upcoming changes? Is it a bad move or is it going to be a good one, since we haven't seen it yet? Well, of all the changes proposed, the one about Spin2Win and line of sight is of the most concern, and as a lot of you know by now, it is all because of MAIMING Strike. I know I might get a lot of hate for this, but hear me out. MAIMING Strike is the new version of capturing in the game. For a game that is supposed to give you freedom to playstyles, people have stuck to the Spin2Win movement. If object collision is put into perspective, you shouldn't be able to hit something behind a wall with your melee weapon unless you're going to be breaking the wall. DE has been on an agenda to create an almost even playing field among every single asset in the game, while still giving each warframe and weapons their own uniqueness. The use of MAIMING Strike in this situation breaks that philosophy. It breaks the design for less carpal tunnel that was introduced years ago. It also breaks the design for line of sight and even makes some melee weapons useless. This is why this changes is a must to nerf MAIMING Strike. So how is this going to affect a lot of players? Because if you know something is going to be a problem, you should have corrected it sooner, or give players about a year worth of heads up to let them know what is going to happen in the future. You have a lot of players who have banked their entire inventory on this mod. Some people just mod this mod few days ago for hundreds or thousands of plats. Now you're telling them it's going to be worth less than they paid for it. People are not going to be pleased about things like this. I know I won't be. If I just bought this MAIMING Strike a day before the stream for thousands of plats, I will be outraged as well. This is why I encourage people, if something seems too good in the game right now, if it has become a trend, sell the excess one that you have and keep on moving, because you might never know what will happen in the future. The negative effect of these changes, however, will only be financial, and that is the good thing about it, not systematically breaking the game. Spin2Win was only fun for a couple of months, then it got crazy after that. There are no elite builds centered around it. MAIMING Strike falls in the same alley as a lot of useless game breaking metas that we have. This is also why I'm glad that this change is coming into Warframe. But it doesn't stop right there. DE will also be making some changes to Adaro and this stealth focused farming, so you guys have to look up for that as well, because you will be seeing that in a couple of months. So a lot of you might also start looking into some of the builds that you have centered around that. They might end up doing Adaro like they did to Drake a few months ago. So what do you do if you already spent a lot of money on MAIMING Strike, if you spend thousands or hundreds of plats on it? Do you get rid of it or do you keep it? My advice and my suggestion is that you keep it, because at this point in time, you don't know how MAIMING Strike is going to function after these changes roll out. People are still just making suggestions and telling you what is going to happen, but until that comes out into the game, you never know, and it could also be a good thing. This mod could actually be better than ever. So this is why I believe you should hold on to it, because when that time comes, it could actually be worth more than you paid for it. Now, DE did drop the ball on this one. Yes, they did, because they did not inform a lot of players about this years ago until about few months or maybe few days ago, and this is where the big problem rolls in, because a lot of people have been spending thousands of plats on this. And of course, you have a lot of people who have centered their entire build around MAIMING Strike as well. But as far as a loser in this scenario, it will be anyone who has centered their entire Warframe builds and metas around MAIMING Strike. However, when it comes to everyone else who bought it or sold it, there are still winners until we see those changes. Tell me what you guys think about this upcoming melee changes. Do you agree with it? Do you think it took too long as well, or a step in the wrong direction for DE? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching this video once again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.